Can we talk a minute about wine? And we get this question frequently. It's like, is wine bad for you? Is it, how many carbohydrates does it have? Does it have a lot of sugar in it?
And that all depends. Like the sweeter white wines tend to be pretty carb dense, unfortunately, because they're pretty yummy. But you know, if you go with a dry white or red wine, then it's going to be a lot better. We'll talk at the end of the thing. Great. When we get to the tequila section. I've got my drink of choice, the NorCal Margarita, but you know, which is just tequila, lime juice, soda water, done. And you know, one of the problems that we found when we were working with realtors in particular, they're very social. Part of their job is being social and taking people out and, you know, having a few drinks and stuff like that. And we found that they just couldn't stick to the program because it was so restrictive with the way that we were presenting it. We wanted them to have results and have body composition changes, but we tried to steer them away from beer and wine because of the carbohydrate and the caloric content, go more with like a straight, you know, vodka, tequila, something like that, a little bit of lime juice, a little bit of soda water, have that alcohol, be able to do that social function and be able to navigate that, but do it in a way that is probably cutting the calorie intake in half, maybe even more, and then dropping the carbohydrates almost down to zero by comparison. So I just like to joke that there's smarter ways of drinking than others. So, yeah.
So and beer has tons of carbohydrates, doesn't it?
Beer has a lot of carbs, and then from my perspective on the autoimmune gut irritation side, it's also that gluten exposure.
Oh, that's right.
You know, so that's a biggie, and if we can just get people to go gluten-free for like a month again, and they reintroduce, they usually discover, wow, I'm very reactive to it. Rarely do we see someone who's not significantly reactive to gluten. Occasionally that happens, but more often than not, folks report that they feel much better pulling the gluten out. I think
isn't that interesting?
Both people in this conversation found that out. Yeah. Another one of those treats that, so long as you aren't consuming it to the degree that you're disrupting your sleep, I think pretty good to go. Lots of antioxidants, nice social element to it. When we start changing the way that we eat, oftentimes we can feel a little bit socially isolated. Coffee is a good way to kind of bridge those gaps. So the problem with coffee, people end up putting wacky stuff in it, tons of sugar, sugar containing like sugar or coffee enhancing products. We'll
cream substitutes.
Yeah, cream substitutes. We'd like to see the real cream. So when we cruise down here a little bit, we'll see some whole cream.